Hi guys, it's April. Today I have a set of coloring books that I want to review for you guys. It's actually a set of 2 box sets of 3 coloring books, so 6 coloring books, but that's neither here nor there. I was kindly sent these 6 coloring books by Creatively Calm Studios to review for you guys, and I'm like, okay, I like coloring, I'll do this. This is gonna happen. So here today is my thoughts and opinions on these coloring books. Now the first set of coloring books includes butterflies and flowers, henna designs, and landmarks, while the second set includes under the sea, up in the air, and into the jungle. I'll do quick flip throughs of all of these coloring books in case you're interested in the designs inside of the coloring books, but first I want to explain some of my experiences while coloring in one of these. So when I was deciding to review these coloring books, I chose to color in butterflies and flowers because it is spring here and I just wanted to do something that allowed me to play a lot with color, and so I chose butterflies and flowers. I also decided to try a very diverse set of utensils in this coloring book just to see how all of them responded. In places, I chose to use these Tombow markers. I also have some of the Steadtler color pencils and these Chalkola chalk markers. It was an interesting experience to say the least. Now I started out by coloring a test page of all my markers because I wanted to test to see if these bled through, because you know, the paper, while relatively decent, I mean, it's got a nice thickness to it, I know that a lot of markers will bleed through. And as you can tell, yeah, alcohol is never gonna work if you're coloring in coloring books that are not one-sided, and these are not. So you can see here, I've got my Copics and my Sharpies with both bled through, and then I did some tests with the Faber-Castells and the Steadtlers, both my fine liners, my fiber tips, also my dual tips as well. And then we've got the Tombow and the Chalkolas. The only ones that really seem to have bled through were the Copics and the Sharpies, for obvious reasons, because they're alcoholic markers. They're gonna bleed through. There's nothing you can do to not bleed through with alcoholic markers. There was also some other issues I discovered as I was coloring with markers, which I will show you later. Now, the first thing I want to point out with these coloring books is that they are a smaller coloring book. They are only about 8.5 by 8.5. And this kind of confused me a little bit because I was looking at them online doing my research before I received them, and it was a little disconcerting to see the images on Amazon and things like that, and then getting this in the mail and they're nothing like it. I can understand that the images are fill-ins, but these are square, small coloring books, which is nice if you're on the go or if you just want something quick and easy. So a lot of these colored pages in this coloring book are rather intricate, which is kind of why I chose to color in this one to start with, because I do like the fiddly bits. The fiddly bits are my go-to. I really, really like fiddly. So this was just perfect for me to start testing in. As you can see, they get cute flowers and butterflies, and I enjoyed looking through it and deciding what I wanted to color. So this gives you a general idea of what the coloring pages inside of this coloring book look like. This is the first page that I colored. As you can tell, it's the chalk markers. I just wanted to try something new and different just to see what I could do. I smeared it all over the page. I haven't set this page at all, so that's more on me than anything else. It didn't bleed through onto the page behind, even though I put layer upon layer upon layer to get this kind of effect. Part of that is because the chalk markers just created a barrier after you put the first layer down, and then you just built on that, which is nice. But sadly, I did ruin the next page. That was my bad. I don't think I'd ever color again with the chalk markers this way. It's just something that I wanted to test out and see if I could do, which I think I'm gonna reserve this coloring book for. If I get new materials or I wanna try new techniques, I'm okay with just trying it here to see if it actually works. As you can tell, a lot of these pages are intricate, but there are a few that are relatively simple and fun to color in as well. Here I decided to try out colored pencils because I know there are a lot of people who prefer to use colored pencils in coloring books, and I just wanted to give it a try to see how they felt on the paper. Now keep in mind, I don't have high-end colored pencils. I have, you know, these student grade Steadtlers that I borrowed from my roommate. Mainly because she had a bigger variety of colors than I do with my really old Crayola colored pencils. As you can see, I did have some fun with it. You can get some layering and blending on the page. It doesn't have a lot of tooth to it, so some of these lighter colors it was hard to get pigment down, but that's also a little bit of the colored pencils I chose to use and the grade that they were. But I think overall the picture came out pretty well. I did end up pressing relatively hard, so I did get some ghosting on the other pages because I was a dingbat and didn't put a page in between so I wouldn't get the ghosting. So once again, that is my bad. So overall, these images are a mix of everything. I mean, they all flow together, and it's a standard coloring book, and I don't think it's bad in any way. I mean, the only thing I have against it is how it wasn't necessarily advertised as this size via the image on the internet. I think that is the only thing that threw me off, but this is a very fun little set of coloring books, and I would recommend it if you are looking for a small set of coloring books to just run with. Each set has 3 books in it with 120 images total altogether, and so it gives you a nice base to start with if you just want a variety of different images. Now here you can see some of that bleed through that I told you I was going to talk about later. So when I was coloring this page right here, I was using the Tombow markers. Now on my test, they didn't bleed through, but when I wasn't paying attention and I was just having a field day, not checking my work as I was going, I apparently layered too much too quickly, and so I did an uh-oh. So just be warned, if you're not careful with markers and you like to layer markers like I do, you will get bleed through. It's part of the reasons why I prefer to have single-sided coloring books, but I understand why there are dual-sided coloring books, because then you can get more images. But that is the Butterflies and Flowers coloring book. I will now quickly go through the rest of them. So those are the adult coloring books by Creatively Calm Studio. I know they have more than just these 6. I will leave the information I have down below in case you have any questions or just want to check these coloring books out for yourself. I had fun coloring what I did, so I am happy that they got sent to me. Tell me down below what your favorite of the 6 were. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on what you like to color. So just tell me down below. And I heart your beautiful faces. Bye.